All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome back to my channel and another video. We got a really good video for you guys today because George Zirkle, the guy we want to give a huge shout out for, George Zirkle on Twitter, pointed out, put together a little thread, pointed out some communication that was going on between Acuña, Michael Harris during the Mets-Braves game on Sunday night. So we're going to break down the whole thing, go through the entire sequence here. He's got video, he's got everything to show for it, and we're going to give you guys some insight. So let's just get straight into it, all right? George Zirkle pointed out that, like I said, on Sunday night, there was some communication going on between Acuña and Michael Harris. He says big leaguers communicated at an unreal level. Here's a really cool sequence from last night's Mets-Braves game. On a 2-2 count, James McCann calls for a high cutter from Chris Bassett and sets his target early. So as you can see here, he's got his target set up nice and early, and then he complements that in the next part of this thread with, this gives Acuña the chance to relay the high location to Michael Harris. See Acuña go to his helmet. Harris just misses this cutter, still hitting at 97 miles an hour and 336 feet, foul. The next pitch, something even cooler happens. So like he said, here's the pitch. Here's James McCann setting up, right? Acuña goes to the helmet. That means it's high. This pitch is going to be, he's setting up high. He executes the cutter high. Harris is just behind it. Does shoot it foul, still hits at 336 feet. He says the next pitch, something even cooler happens. Okay? McCann sets an early high target again. Again, Acuña goes to his head. But instead of throwing a cutter or two-seam, Bassett throws a breaking ball and gets the whiff. So again, here's Acuña, goes to the helmet because he sees him setting up high, right? Or at least attempting to. Bam, snaps off a nasty curveball. So I thought this was really cool, but I wanted to take it a little bit further, all right? All right, so as far as a step further, I mentioned it already, okay? This was how the entire sequence went down, and I thought the context for the entire situation was really important, okay? So here we have Dansby Swanson at the plate, right above my finger here. McCann is catching right here. Bassett's on the mound, okay? Ronald Acuña is on first base in this situation, okay? He's on first. Now, RC is on second base, and you're thinking, well, maybe it's Acuña. Acuña's the guy that's relaying the signs. It's just Acuña, right? So I was curious. I wanted to go back, and I wanted to see what the entirety of the situation was. You got a 2-0 count on Dansby Swanson. Orlando RC is at the on second base. So is this an organizational thing? Was it an Acuña just in the one time? Hey, guys, if I go to my head, this is what this pitch is going to be. A lot of times you don't know what the pitch is going to be. You don't know the location. They don't give it away too early. As you can see McCann here. Arcia, it's hard to tell, but Arcia doesn't look like he's doing anything at second base. So now you got a 3-0 count to Dansby Swanson, okay? Fast forward a little bit. 3-0, 3-1. Not much from Arcia there. I mean, again, and even if there was, it's a middle fastball. Swanson just absolutely just cuts straight through it like a fucking hologram, okay? 3-1 count to Dansby. Nothing from Arcia that we can see so far, and Dansby hits a ball to deep center. So now it gets to Acuña at second base. Nimmo makes the catch. Arcia goes from second to third, and Acuña goes from first base to second base safely. Here you see the replay of Dansby. He takes it to dead center, right? Actually, incredibly smart base running, by the way, by Ronald Acuña Jr. because he goes from first and second. Nimmo has an absolute noodle arm, and Acuña just flies. So, you know, if he gets thrown out there, it's bad. If he doesn't get thrown out, it's good, right? So now you got Arcia on third base. You got Acuña on second base. You got one out, and you got Michael Harris Jr., right? So now we don't know if Acuña has been doing these signs the entire at-bat, and this is the point I wanted to get to. Arcia hasn't been doing anything previously, at least from what we could tell. Acuña is now at second base in the 0-0 count. What's curious to see is if McCann is actually giving the pitches away, or at least the location, throughout the entire at-bat, right? You really want your pitcher to execute pitches, throw strikes, throw exactly where it needs to be thrown in this situation, because if he does, ideally you get a ground ball here, you get a fly ball, something, just weak contact that doesn't allow for damage to be done by Michael Harris here. Righty on lefty, Bassett's got a cutter, he's got a nice four-seam fastball, big curveball, so it's curious to see, right? Here's your first pitch, nothing from Acuña, potentially, I don't know if you guys noticed that, he almost, with his arm, he's like readjusting an elbow pad maybe that's low, right? I mean, maybe that's a little nitpicky. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know for sure. Either way, he spikes a breaking ball, right? So it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell there if he's like down. This ball is going down, right? This pitch is down in the zone. It's hard to tell. You don't know for sure. Michael Harris, by the way, 862, 300 batting average, 19 pumps. Okay, Atlanta Braves just turning out literally every dude they can. So, okay. So, sorry, I got distracted there. But, okay. Like I said, Harris is a beast. Watch Acuña coming off second base here. Touches his helmet. Is he readjusting? Is he going back to the signs? What are they doing here? Pay attention to Acuña right back here. Goes to the helmet. But McCann hasn't set up yet. So that must just be, oh, I'm fixing my helmet, right? You don't see anything from Acuña. Late sign. Can't really get it to him in time. It is what it is. It looks like it's kind of that situation where if he's showing it early, if James McCann's showing the glove early, Acuña is going to give him the sign. He's going to give him the location. Now, what you end up seeing is that it comes back to actually bite them in the rear end, okay? Because we have a 2-0 count. More than likely, he's sitting heater anyways, right? 2-0 count for a good hitter. Nothing from Acuña. Late sign. And he spins one. Acuña is actually upset by that call, but it looks like it's a strike. It's a gutsy pitch. A 2-0 count breaking ball that honestly kind of hangs, catches the top of the zone. Good call by the umpire. Now we're in that situation of 2-1. Is he going to go back to the breaking ball? Is he going to spin it? James McCann gives him the pitch calm. Nothing from Acuña here because the sign, the glove, doesn't go up till the end. So if you're a catcher or if you're a baseball player watching this video, the one thing you need to take away from this, if you're a position player, what sounds like actually ended up happening is, as they show Arcia and Escobar here playing with each other, but if you are an infielder, an outfielder, and you're seeing your catcher show the glove a little bit too early, especially with the guy on second base who's got sights on the catcher and where the location's going to be, try your best to not. And I pitched in college. I like the catcher that had a glove out early, but if you put it out too early, you're going to expose yourself to this exact type of situation. And by the way, this is not your Astros using cameras to steal signs. This is completely fair game, in my opinion. So here comes high target. Acuña goes to the helmet. Harris is ready for it. He's a little late. Now, who knows if Harris is actually picking that up or if he just, was on it? It's hard to tell, okay? But apparently what had happened here is somewhere in this sequence, while I'm talking here, Harris is digging in. Lindor was able to get James McCann's attention and go, hey, he's picking something. Hey, I don't know what he says. Or he goes, hey, here, pay attention. Something like that. Because on the very next pitch, as these tweets that I showed you guys earlier in the video point out, Acuña goes back to the helmet, high target, spins a breaking ball. Nasty. All right? So now if you're Michael Harris Jr., you're like, Ronald, thanks, brother. Appreciate it. And I was curious to see, as they show this pitch sequence here, that's the 2-0 breaking ball for a strike, 2-1 cutter in, 2-2 cutter fouls it off, 2-2 spinner, and it's a good pitch. It's kind of middle, but if he doesn't have that thought process going on in his head of like, oh, is it up? Is it down? I don't know. Overall, yeah, it's a good pitch, but honestly, probably not a pitch that Michael Harris, a guy hitting 300, misses a whole lot, except if he's sitting on something hard and up. So it's curious to see. Now, again, McCann's on this. You're probably not going to see a whole lot of early signage anymore, but curious to see how the rest of this at-bat unfolds. Late target for setup from McCann. Oh, hit by pitch. So I didn't even know that was coming, but that's nothing you could do there. Okay, he just straight up just runs a fastball in here for Matt Olson. So now Acuña's still on second base. Riley's on first. Bases loaded for Matt Olson. Okay. Curious to see here. Again, here's Acuña at second base. We can't see the target, but it's looking like James McCann's caught onto it and is super late. Super late. Look at this target setup. Wow, he's waiting till the very last second to get it set up. Now, as a pitcher, it's hard because you're throwing to a blind target. You're throwing to a spot when you don't have an aiming point. So as a pitcher, if you're watching this video and you're a pitcher, okay, at any level, in this type of situation, you're not going to get a glove set up exactly where you want it to, okay? So what you have to do is pick an aiming spot on the catcher's body. If he wants to go up and in here, He's showing an early target, and he misses. If you want to throw to a spot, let's say up and into a left-handed batter, you got to pick the catcher's shoulder, I guess, right? I mean, you got to pick his shoulder. You got to pick this little slot, throw it in this slot, right? Or throw it off his shoulder, something like that. But it's tough for Bassett here because he wants that early target. He wants that ball to be set up exactly where he's going to throw it. He's also looks to just be struggling with command overall with a 2-0 count here on Olsen. High target, high setup. McCann started to show it a little bit earlier because he really needs him to throw strikes here. Now we're at 3-0. Even if you're Acuña here, even if you're anybody else, it's like, honestly, if you're James McCann, just sell out, give him a target, throw it down the middle. We need a strike. We cannot walk this guy in. Nowhere to put him. Bases loaded. Early setup. Finds the corner for a strike. Makes a ton of sense, right? Makes a ton of sense. And that's a good pitch, too, honestly. 3-1, you go up and away, dot the corner. He's shaking on. The pitch comes. Probably another pretty early target from James McCann. Yep. And he loses them. So Bassett's struggling with command here. And a lot of that stuff has to do with the fact that James McCann can't put up the glove early enough because Ronald Acuña Jr. is picking the sign, or at least the location, as a pitcher, or as the catcher giving it to the pitcher. So if you're a base runner and you're seeing this, take advantage of it because it's clean. It's totally part of the game. Even stealing signs is part of the game. And in this case, you couldn't even steal signs because McCann's using the little pitch comm thing, the buzzer, the you guys know what I'm talking about, the sound thing in the hat for Chris Bassett. So you can't steal the 1, 2, 3, 4 pitch finger signs. So you're going to have to steal something if you can. In this situation, Acuña steals the location. And then it ends up coming back to actually bite him because Harris ends up sitting on a high fastball or something high with some velo. Bassett spins a breaking ball and gets a strikeout. Pitchers, if you're watching this and you pitch at any level and you aren't able to get an early target from a catcher, especially with runners on base, all you can do is pick a spot on the catcher and throw to it, especially if that's the spot you want to go, right? If you want to go down and away, got to aim at his left knee. If you want to go up and in, you got to aim at his right shoulder. So that's the type of stuff that you don't necessarily notice on a night in and night out basis. And once again, I really wanted to give a shout out to George Zirkle at George_Zirkle for pointing this out. He mentions at the end, it's just a small example of the game within the game. Stuff like this happens all the time. You just got to keep an eye out. So good for him. We appreciate George pointing this out. And honestly, it's the type of stuff that makes baseball the best. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to give it a thumbs up if you guys think you want to see more videos like this. I know this kind of resembles some breakdowns from some other people. It is what it is. I just thought this kind of stuff, I always think this kind of stuff is extremely interesting, right? Because it's, like George says, the game within the game. It's the stuff that people who think baseball is boring don't actually see or notice. But in reality, it's crucial. And with the postseason coming up, a lot of this kind of stuff is going to end up potentially winning or losing games for a lot of different teams. So, like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, man. Like it. If you want to see more, let me know in the comments. If there's any other situations that you guys know of that have gone on or transpired, or you maybe want some potential investigation, let me know because I can do it. So thanks for watching, guys, and hopefully you enjoyed it. We'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.